Hello and welcome to Rathods IAS Offline. Today in this session, we are going to see very important articles that appeared in our today's newspaper. So let's get started with our discussion. First of all, let us see important topics of the day. The first topic we are going to discuss, it is about industrial output growth hits 5-month high of 5.1%. So this article is talking about performance of our industrial sector. And this article is saying that there is increased performance of our industrial sector. So here you have to see what are those important 8 core industries, and you have to see why there is growth of this industrial sector now and what will be the impact on our economy. And this topic is important from your economy point of view from GS paper 3. And next topic is West Bengal government will table Uniform Civil Code bill soon. And here if you see this topic, the keyword is Uniform Civil Code. Recently many states are on the same line related to this implementation of Uniform Civil Code. So this year in prelims and as well as mains, you can expect a mains based question on this UCC, and it is very important from your polity from GS paper 2. And next topic is government launches platform to track maternal and child health. In yesterday's class, we discussed about one important portal related to Ministry of Rural Development. What is that portal? Rural Internal Audit Portal. And now to track the progress of mothers and children, now Ministry of Child and Health released one platform, and you have to know about that. And this article is also appeared in PIB. So mostly articles which appeared in PIB will be taken by UPSC to frame prelims based question. That means you can expect question on this also. And this topic is important from governance from GS paper 2. And next topic is why are states opposing VBG Ram G? So many states are opposing this VBG Ram G. So here you have to know what exactly is this VBG Ram G is about, some important features, what are the main objectives, and here this article is highlighting just challenges. So those challenges you may get a mains based question on that. So you have to be prepared for that. And this topic is important from governance from GS paper 2. Our next topic is caught in middle. Recently we discussed about golden triangle, golden crescent, and recently Narcotic Controls Bureau gave a report related to smuggling of drugs across northeastern part of our country. So now this article is talking about the same thing, but here this article is saying what are the steps can be taken by government to control this kind of drug smuggling. So all these are the topics now we are going to see in this class. Okay, read out the title, guys. Industrial output growth hits 5%, 5-month high of 5.1%. Okay, so here you may get a main prelims based question here. So how prelims based question can be given is, normally if you see PYQs of economy, they will give you trends like from last 1 decade steadily increased, steadily decreased. Like that UPSC will frame a statement in prelims based question. So here if you see this infographic which is giving a graph, in this graph, is that graph showing steadily increase or steadily decrease? No, it is irregular. Sometimes it increased, decreased like that. So normally in your prelim statements from economy, if they give any statement says that steadily increased from past 5 years, steadily decreased, that statement will be for sure wrong. There will be no steadily increasing or steadily decreasing in our economy. Always ups and downs will be there. Okay, that will be the one trap used by UPSC in framing statements of economy, and you have to be very clear. So if you have watched our class related to prelims tips and techniques, in that I said this point and I gave you like 3 to 4 examples related to that kind of statements from PYQs, and I showed how you have to apply that technique. So if you are well known with that kind of things, then you will not do mistakes in your prelims. Okay, clear? So here this article is saying that industrial output growth is high now. Okay. So how many sectors do we have in our economy? Majorly 3, but there are 5 sectors. So first one is primary, second one is secondary, third one is tertiary, fourth one is quaternary, and next one is quinary. So keep this quaternary and as well as quinary aside. But mostly we will see 3 sectors. Primary sector is related to agriculture. Secondary sector is related to industries or manufacturing. Tertiary sector related to services. Okay. India's economy is majorly called as which kind of economy? Primary economy. Okay, majorly primary, mostly more than 60 percentage of people's economic activity is agriculture in our country. But the problem here is the contribution from this agriculture to our GDP is very low. But which sector is contributing more to our GDP? Service sector. India is very good at service sector. Okay, now I'll tell you one story. So here we have primary, next is secondary, and third is tertiary. Normally, in the stages of economic development in any country, first it will start with agriculture and they'll move on to manufacturing and they'll move on to tertiary. Okay, so these are the levels of advancements in the economies. But what happened in India is we directly jumped from primary to tertiary. We ignored this industrial sector or manufacturing sector in our country. Because of that, we are seeing a major problem in our country, that is unemployment. There is very high rate of unemployment in India because of this mistake we did. We directly jumped from primary to tertiary sector. Okay. So now this article is talking about this secondary sector or manufacturing sector. So here whenever we are studying about these industries, we have 8 core industries. And we will see about the performance of this core industries to analyze how industrial sector is performing in our country. So how many core sectors we have or core industries? We have 8. What are they? FERNSCCC. Fertilizer, electricity, refineries, natural gas, steel, coal, crude oil and cement. So these are the 8 core sectors. On this, UPSC already asked a prelims based question. The question was in this way: consider the following, and they gave 4 or 5 sectors, 5 examples, and they asked which of the above comes under core industry. So this is PYQ actually. If you remember this mnemonic, you can easily remember this 8 core industries. Okay, now this article is saying that the performance of this core industries is improved. Okay, it is 5-month high. If you are comparing with last 5 months, in the recent month, we have improved performance of this industrial sector. That is the meaning of title. So now you have to think about reasons. Now think guys, what are the reasons that led to improvement of performance of this industrial sector? Come on, think. What about fertilizer? Are we getting fertilizer on time now? What is happening across the world? West Asian crisis, closure of Strait of Hormuz. This is the route through which we can get our fertilizer. But this had been closed. Are we getting fertilizer on time from other countries? Are we importing properly? If you are not importing, what is the alternative we have? We have to produce in our country. Yes, in our country we have fertilizer related industries and they increased their scale. They increased their production. If they are increasing their production, obviously that will lead to improved industrial production. Yes, and what about electricity guys? Come on. Renewable energy. Okay, next. Okay, I want to ask a question. This time we have El Nino or La Nino. El Nino or La Nina? El Nino. El Nino, that too we had delayed monsoon this time. Monsoon is not on time. And even we are expecting there will be deficit rainfall of 35 to 45% of deficit. Yes, this is the old story. Okay, if El Nino is there means temperature will be high or low? High temperature. If temperature is high, will you sit without fans or AC or cooler? That means there will be increased demand for electricity or not? Yes. So if increased demand, obviously we have to produce more electricity to satisfy the needs of people. Yes. So that is also one reason why there is increased production of electricity in our country to meet the demands of people. Okay. It also increased. What about refineries and natural gas? They are facing losses. Yes, because of West Asian crisis, we have to get crude oil from other country and we have to refine in our country, right? That is a work which will be done by these refineries. And natural gas also we are having some losses. Okay, what about cement and what about coal? Are we producing electricity directly from renewable energy mostly? No. More than 70% of electricity which we produce from coal only. That is called as thermal electricity, right? So there is increased production of electricity through what? Coal. Coal sector also had been improved. Okay, like that you have to see exactly what are the reasons which led to improved economic activity, especially related to this secondary sector in our country. And now you guys tell me, if industrial sector is performing good, is it a good sign or a bad sign? Obviously, it is positive to our economy. Now tell me what are the impacts on our economy because of good performance of industrial sector. Yes, we can increase employment opportunities. Yes, next. We can decrease our dependency on other countries. Okay, import dependency we can decrease. And if we are producing more and more, we will try to export, right? We can increase our exports. And next. Yes, it will contribute to our GDP. Of course, our GDP will be increased. Next. Come on, think in that way. Investments, yes. If you are producing more and if our economy is good, obviously we can attract more and more investments from other countries. Okay. Now let us see this article clearly. This article is saying that there is growth in industrial activities. If you're comparing from last 5 months, this month we have like good improvement in industrial sector. Okay, and there is a strong performance in manufacturing sector, especially related to electricity, capital goods and consumer goods sector. In electricity, capital goods and consumer goods sector, yes, there is increased growth or there is increased performance of our secondary sector. So why there is growth here is electricity surge, extreme summer heat wave. It is combined with delayed monsoon because of El Nino. That led to increased demand for electricity for cooling. Because of that, what happened? Electricity sector is performing well good. And next one is manufacturing revival. There is increased domestic consumption in our country. Especially there is increased sales of auto sectors, durables and non-durables. So because of increased demand, obviously companies will produce more and more. That will lead to increased production in our country. And next one is investments. We are signing lots of agreements with other countries. Recently with Seychelles, we discussed, and our Prime Minister is also participating in 50th National Day celebrations of Seychelles. And you know, recently we signed agreement with European Union, free trade agreements with New Zealand, etc. So because of this, what happened? Obviously, we can enhance our markets, international markets we can grab, we can export more, and even from other countries we can attract more and more investment. If you are getting all those things, what happened? Obviously, we will try to expand our business. Yes, if we are getting more and more money, obviously we will keep different branches in different areas. So we are trying to expand our business. That will lead to further growth. Okay. And this one is recently we updated our new series of calculation, especially base year for CPI. Yes. So because of that also, yes, it is having impact. And not only that, recently government came up with GST 2.0 reforms. Yes. What is a GST 2.0? Earlier, whatever we have the slabs. Earlier, we used to have 5%, 12%, 18%, 28% slabs had been replaced by now only we have two slabs. One is 5%, another one is 18%. So because of that, what happened? The cost of goods and services in the market had been reduced. If prices reduced, increased demand, more and more purchases. Yes. So all these are the reasons why we have good industrial growth which had been recorded now. Clear? And now what is the impact? First one is overall GDP will be increased. And next one here is we have good investment cycle. It will support jobs. That is nothing but we can create employment opportunities. Obviously, it will be improving our business and market sentiments also, despite of global uncertainties. So, all these are the points that you have to remember from this topic. So, how can you get a question? In your prelims, they may give you about directly core sectors. You have to remember that 8 core sectors. And second type of question is consider the following regarding our Indian economy. In that they will say consistently, steadily from past 5 years, industrial sector is doing good. Like that they may give you statement based questions. And in mains, they will be asking you what are the reasons for the improvement of industrial sector. They may ask you about what are the government initiatives. They may ask you about what will be the impact. Now my question to you is, what are the steps taken by the government to improve manufacturing in our country? Come on, think and tell me what are the steps taken by our government. Yes, production linked incentive scheme. Government says produce more, I'll give incentive. So what happens? Obviously companies will produce more. Next. Yes, government is focusing on Atmanirbhar Bharat or Made in India. Okay, next. Free trade agreements with other countries. Related to exports, government is decreasing duty on exports so that we can export more and more to other countries. And next, government is improving ease of doing business in our country so that what happened? We can attract more and more investment and we can attract these foreign companies to invest in our country. Okay, so these are the steps taken by the government to improve manufacturing sector. And even for the safety of the labor, recently we implemented 4 labor codes. In that, one will be focusing on social security and another will be focusing on safety of the laborers. We discussed all those, right? Just recall all those and try to put in one frame. Clear? So in this way you have to prepare. Okay, now let us see next article. See this guys. West Bengal government will table Uniform Civil Code bill soon. Recently we discussed this article. Which state came up with this? Arunachal, Assam. It is not Arunachal, it is Assam. Okay, which states implemented this UCC on ground level? Uttarakhand, not Gujarat, Goa. Goa and Uttarakhand implemented this UCC. If you take the case of Goa, before we got independence, it implemented UCC. Gujarat kept that bill in their houses, but it had not yet been passed. We discussed that article only. Gujarat recently tabled UCC in their assembly sessions. Okay. So as of now, only 2 states completely passed this bill and they implemented. If you take this case of Goa, before we got independence, they implemented this UCC. And after we got independence, only one state passed this, that is Uttarakhand so far. But different states came up with this kind of bills. Recently Gujarat, before that Assam, and now again West Bengal. So you have to see the states. So first of all, tell me what is this Uniform Civil Code? We are going to come up with a single law, one nation, one law, or one state, one law related to civil matters. What are those civil matters? It may be marriage, divorce, adoption, succession of property. Related to this, whatever the religion you belong to, you may come from Islam or Hindus or Christians or Parsis, whatever it may be, there will be one law which will be guiding you related to that kind of civil matters. Okay, is there any article in our constitution talking about it? Yes, Article 44 of Indian Constitution talks about this UCC. Article 44 comes under fundamental rights or DPSP or fundamental duties? Okay, fundamental rights related articles, what are they? Article 12 to 35. After that, Article 36 to 50 or 51? 50, 51. Again confusion. Very good. What about fundamental duties article? 51A. Okay, now tell me DPSP. 51? Okay. So, Article 44 talks about UCC, Uniform Civil Code. Okay, why we need this Uniform Civil Code? Is that right to impose this? Yes or no? No? Yes? Yes? Okay. So, here you have to think about what is UCC, what is the need of UCC, and you have to see what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages. Every issue will have both the sides, like a coin, right? So we have positive side and we have negative side, and UPSC will be asking you to write both positives and sometimes negatives. So you have to know about both positives and negatives of that, and you have to see what are the features and why we need that, everything is. Okay, so this is that. Already we discussed that many a times. See this. Government launches platform to track maternal child health. Keep star mark. Keep star mark, guys. Okay. Ministry of Home and Cooperation Minister. Ministry of Home Affairs launched. Ministry of Home Affairs launched PM Family Care Tracker. Please make a note. Ministry of Home Affairs launched. Ministry of Home Affairs launched PM Family Care Tracker. And this platform is focusing on strengthening of maternal and child health. Maternal and child health, nutrition and family welfare. Maternal and child health, nutrition and family welfare. Maternal and child health, nutrition and family welfare. Okay. And this platform, as of now, it is in a just pilot phase. You know this pilot project? Only just for testing. We will take one region and we will implement there. And after collecting data, after analyzing if it is working good, then that will be implemented throughout our country. So actually it is in pilot phase now in Gujarat. Okay, now let us see here. So how you can get a question? Consider the following statements regarding PM Family Care Tracker. Under that, UPSC can give you 2 to 3 statements and they will ask you to identify correct or incorrect. One statement will be aims and objectives. Second statement will be for sure ministry. Okay. And third statement will be like if there is any linking to any other scheme or like any extension of this, they may ask. Okay, now let us see this clearly. The PM Family Care Tracker and Health Passport were launched as a pilot project in Gandhinagar, Gujarat. It is just a pilot project as of now. If you see the details, this platform is an integrated digital system where they are going to monitor child health, child nutrition, education and welfare from pregnancy to the age of 16 years. From whenever woman will become pregnant, from that time after childbirth till 16 years of that child. So this will be tracking the progress of pregnant women and as well as children together. And some references are saying that it may also cover till 18 years because the bracket of definition of children in India is 18 years. Okay, now let us see how they are going to track this welfare in this women and children. So here this platform combines databases linked to birth registration, death registration, health, nutrition, education, social welfare. All these are linked in this single database. And this system is designed to create a unified record for eligible families and beneficiaries across government departments. So it will be integrating this family, hospital, every area it will be linking, it will be collecting data, and it will be progress. It will be seeing the progress among the children. And next, if you see the coverage, so this tracker is linked to children, pregnant women, and as well as lactating mothers. And they are going to provide support for these three areas like pregnant women, lactating women, and children related to health services, related to which kind of nutrition they have to take, nutrition support, and even for children who are going to schools or colleges, they will be getting even education related interventions through this digital tracker. Okay, now let us see next article. See this, guys. Why are states opposing VBG Ram G? What is the key word here? VBG Ram G. What is the full form? VB Viksit Bharat. G for guarantee. Okay, next. Okay, next. Rural Ajivika Mission Gramin. Right. It is talking about rural. VB Viksit Bharat Guarantee Rozgar Ajivika Mission Gramin. So this replaced which scheme? VBG Ram G replaced MG Narega scheme. So now tell me what are the provisions of this VBG Ram G? Okay, it is centrally sponsored scheme. Earlier it is central sector, but now it is centrally sponsored scheme. And how many days of employment they'll give? 125 days of guarantee employment in rural areas. Next, what about payments? Now they will be having weekly payments. Earlier they used to be like 15 days or whenever they used to give, they used to give. But now it is like weekly payments. Next, yes, we have 60 days of break. When in this agriculture, whenever we are getting opportunities of employment like sowing, transplanting, harvesting, so at that time we can take pause of 60 days. But earlier there was no provision like that. Next, that's it. Okay, those are the major difference between MG Narega scheme and VBG Ram G. So now see the title. It is saying that why states are opposing this VBG Ram G. Now you guys tell me what might be the challenges. Why states are opposing this scheme? First one is already states have their own burden. Now again it is centrally sponsored scheme. Means states has to spend money to implement this scheme on the ground level. So that will lead to further increasing of financial burden on that states. Okay, next. Come on. Only one. Do all states are developed states in India? Developed or there, developing or there, least developed states are there. If you go to north, what happened? Bihar, it is like less developed area. Can we provide proper network? And even we have lots of remote areas where they don't have even basic infrastructure, sanitation facilities. If we ask them to take attendance on online by using apps, is that possible in that remote areas? No. Next. Come on, think in that way, guys. Okay. You know about the provisions of this scheme, right? It is providing 125 days of guaranteed employment and it is trying to improve livelihood security in rural areas. And not only government is providing work under the scheme, they are trying to provide some productive assets. What are the assets? Like laying of roads, digging of ponds, rejuvenation of tanks, building of primary schools, primary healthcare centers, so that we are trying to create assets in the rural areas. And next one is we are going to improve even the role of gram panchayats, and we are going to improve the role of panchayats in development, because who are the eligible people, who will be listing that eligible people, ultimately the role is given to gram panchayats. Okay, and next one is we are trying to improve transparency, accountability and monitoring, because everything now we are doing on online attendance, online payment system directly to the bank accounts. So because of this, what happened? We can increase accountability and transparency, we can decrease corruption, misuse of funds, everything. And next one here is, it is also aligning with our target of Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat means nothing but we need to get the status of developed country by 2047. So can we get that status if you're developing only these urban areas? We can't. So we have to develop these rural areas also as par with urban areas. So here, because of that, we changed the name of MG Narega with Viksit Bharat, VBG Ram G. Are you understanding? That is also one more thing. And this one is we are coming with a convergence between rural development, agriculture, infrastructure and livelihood opportunities. Under this scheme, government is providing livelihood opportunities. Along with this, we are creating assets, that is nothing but infrastructure creation, and also we are focusing on agriculture because we are having 60 days of pause during this agriculture related activities, and as well as we are focusing on development of rural areas. So this scheme is a combination of four important components: rural development, agriculture, infrastructure and as well as livelihood scheme. Okay. So whenever you are writing any answer related to VBG Ramji, try to use this kind of diagram. Write this 4 circles and represent one circle with rural development, one with agriculture, one with infrastructure, one with livelihood scheme, and keep this integrated part will be your VBG Ramji. Clear? So in that way, try to make some diagrams, use your creativity, innovation. Okay, and you have to create that kind of images that will show for sure impact on your marks, which is avoided by the examiner. So from now onwards, try to do this kind of work. Make your value added content diagrams. That will make your answer unique from others. Because everyone will be reading same newspaper, either Hindu or Indian Express, same articles, same books. But how can you represent, how can you say that you are unique to an examiner? This is the way that you have to show some innovation, creativity in your answers. Okay, what are the challenges? The first one is timely payment of wages. Even private sector also, timely payment, is it happening? No. Timely payment of wages will be a financial burden for the states now. And next one is, many a times in this MG Narega scheme or VBG Ramji, we will have a problem of fake job cards. Person will be not there. Person will be not coming to that work, but he will be having the job card and he will be getting money. Okay, ghost beneficiaries will there. You know this ghost who died also, their names will be there. They will have their job cards and they will have accounts, but they will be operated by someone. Okay, so that is also one problem. And next one is maintaining of records will be also become problem now, because in all panchayats we don't have proper internet facilities. Because of that, we cannot maintain the digital records. They have to do again paperwork. If they have to do paperwork, obviously what happened? There will be this kind of problems like ghost beneficiaries, fake job cards, everything. And next one here is avoiding political interference at local level. Of course, it cannot be happen. So we cannot stop interference of politics in this kind of things. And next one is training of Gram Panchayats office and at the local level officers. If you want to go for training, it will become a difficult task for the government. And next one is ensuring digital access in remote rural areas. In remote areas, especially in tribal areas or in forest areas, we cannot ensure access of internet. And next one here is monitoring quality of rural assets. You know, laying of roads will be there on the ground level. But what about the quality? Can we ensure the quality? Everyone wants to get more profits. Everyone wants to minimize their expenditure and maximize their profits. If they are focusing on that, can we ensure the quality of infrastructure? If we want to if we want to build a wall or a compound wall around the school which is there in the village, so we can get different types of bricks in the market. One is, for example, 4 rupees per a brick, one is 7 rupees per a brick, one is 2 rupees per a brick, like that. So which one will you buy if you are a contractor? Think from contractor side. I'm not asking you that you are genuine person, you are ethical person. I'm not asking that. If you are a contractor, which one will you buy? Obviously of low cost. Then what happened if you are buying this low cost products and if you are building that for the namesake? Will it be sustainable? Will it be strong? In cement also we have different kind of cement, you know, right? Normally in TV you will be having advertisement Maha Cement, Shakti Cement, Strong cement. Ambuja cement. So which one is costly? I don't know, ma'am. Okay. So if you are a contractor, obviously will purchase low quality, right? So because of this, the monitoring of quality of assets will become a very difficult task. Okay, and next one is preventing exclusion of poor and vulnerable households. So all these are the challenges which is faced by the states, and most of the states are not happy with this VBG Ram G because they have to spend their money. Okay. See this article, guys. Cotton middle. What is the meaning of cotton middle? What is the meaning of cotton middle? India is sandwiched between golden triangle and golden crescent. Where is golden crescent? One more country. Here we have golden crescent. Crescent, you know, shape of the moon, crescent shaped moon, right? This shape of the moon is very significant in Islam. Celebration of Ramjan, no idea. Nelapodu Pantaru, no idea. Okay, so this is golden crescent. This is the area where there is a production of opium will be happening at a very large scale. It is there in 3 countries, Afghanistan, Pakistan and Iran. And we have one more site, it is golden triangle. It is between Myanmar, Laos and Vietnam. These are the countries. Okay, so what happened here? This area is entirely unstable now. Yes, this area is entirely unstable. The production of opium had been reduced here. So this vacuum is occupied by now golden triangle. Myanmar increased production of opium by 3 to 4 times, and we are directly sharing border with Myanmar. There is cross-border smuggling of drugs is happening in this northeastern part of our country. That is a report said by NCB recently. Okay, so that is the old story. Now let us see the new story which is given by this editorial. Okay, this article is saying that Narcotics Control Bureau noted that there is increased use of drones to smuggle drugs across the borders, especially across Punjab. So here, if you see from this golden crescent, here we have which states? Rajasthan is sharing boundary with Pakistan. We have Punjab region. So especially the most affected state in our country related to this drug is Punjab. Punjab, mostly the population of entire Punjab had habituated with this drugs. So because of this, Punjab government established rehabilitation center. You know this de-addiction rehabilitation centers, de-addiction centers. The persons have been addicted to this drugs. They will be joined in this de-addiction center, and they will be giving like small doses of this drug daily. Because if you're stopping everything on one sudden, it won't work, because we will be having withdrawal symptoms. Do you know this withdrawal symptoms? In many movies, they will be also showing, no, for example, they will be showing a person who had been addicted to drug, and if their parents come to know about this, they will try to lock him in one room. They will not allow him to take that. So in that time, he will be doing some activities, crazy activities. So that kind of symptoms are called as withdrawal symptoms. Not only the persons who had been addicted to these drugs will have that symptoms, but even the persons who had been addicted to smoking alcohol will be also showing that kind of symptoms. For example, I think you might have seen in your families, like if there is any old man who is like a addicted to alcohol, every day he has to take certain amount of alcohol. Suddenly, if he is not taking alcohol on that time, his hands will shiver, he cannot do his activities. You can, I think you might have seen that. Those are called as withdrawal symptoms. So here, if any person is joined in any de-addiction centers or rehabilitation centers, they will be giving the same thing. For example, if there is a person who had been habituated to smoking, and if he smokes like 2 cigarette boxes per a day, they will try to reduce that to one cigarette packet for 10 days or 1 month, and later on again 5 cigarettes per a day. Like that, slowly they will try to decrease the dose, and they will try to rehabilitate that person. In the same way, in Punjab, government established this de-addiction centers. to make this youth to come out of that intoxication like that. Okay, so here this report also saying that now this drug traffickers are using drones. Earlier they used to use roadways, railways, even sometimes airways, but now they are directly using these drones to smuggle this goods. And next one here is traffickers and organizing over the darknet. Even they are using darknet and they are using cryptocurrencies. They are not using digital currency or they are not using paper currency. They are started using this directly cryptocurrency because we cannot encrypt that. It will be very difficult to trace the root of this flowing of cryptocurrency. Now they are using darknet. No one knows about darknet. Very less people who will be involving in this kind of organized crime will be knowing about this darknet, right? Normal people, whatever we see, that is a very little part of the net. Remaining part will be entirely darknet. I think you might have seen this movie Hit 3. Hit 3, in that they will show about darknet, what kind of activities they will be going on in darknet. Many movies are there which showed about this. Oh, you have seen it real. Okay. Okay, see here. So they are using even cryptocurrencies to trade this drugs. Okay, if something is going on in darknet, it is very difficult to identify. And if there any trade which is going on by this cryptocurrencies, it will be difficult to track it also. Okay, so it is a major problem now our government is facing related to stopping of drug trafficking. Okay, now this article is saying that we have to go for, now governments are trying to adopt whole of society approach. That means we are taking society as a one and we are coming from top to bottom approach to deal with this drug trafficking. But this article is saying that it will not work. One size fit for all related to this drug trafficking cannot be sufficient to tackle with this kind of problem. Apart from this, we have to go for other dimensions, like we have to see public health and we have to see from social dimensions, and we have to understand what exactly the root cause of this drug addiction, drug trafficking, and we have to deal the problem from the root. That is the thing which mainly said here. And they said that Punjab has an extensive network of de-addiction centers and they are providing opioid substitution therapy. But in some northeastern states, we don't have that kind of addiction centers. So we have to increase addiction centers in this northeastern part also now, because there is now increased threat of this drug trafficking in this northeastern area. And one more thing here is, if government is providing such kind of de-addiction centers, many people will have some, what can I say, social stigma to go to this government centers. We have private hospitals, we have government hospitals. Where we'll go, where we'll prefer normally private over government. In the same way, in this de-addiction centers also, we have to go for setting up of more private related centers. That's the point which gave here directly. Wait, I'll show. Okay. Okay. So here, if you see, if the state is having more and more government centers, there is a fear of social abstraction, particularly in rural North India. So because of this, what is happening? Mostly the people are not going to this government centers because of social stigma. So because of this, they are trying to go for private, because there will be more transparency and as well as there will be data privacy will be there in private centers compared to that of government centers. So because of this, they are asking to set up more private related centers where we can ensure data privacy. And next one here is, next important point they said is, yes, we have to come up with centers which are dedicated to women, because women related centers are very less. Only women call, in the schools also we have only girls schools, boys schools, rather than co-education. Even in the inter colleges and degree colleges and even PG colleges, we have separately for girls. So here, related to this kind of de-addiction centers, we need to have separate centers for women also. Okay, and next one here is why we need this kind of separate centers for women is there is lack of gender responsive treatment. So if you have rehabilitation centers which is treating both women and men together, so we don't have proper women sensitive related workers in that so and so center. So because of this, women will not come forward to go with this kind of de-addiction centers. So for that reason, we need to have gender responsive treatment. Okay, so that is the thing which mainly said here. Yeah. So government has to take lots of steps to control this kind of negative impacts of drugs. That is the thing which mainly said in this article, guys. Now you have to think that you are an IPS officer and you posted in an area where there is very high rate of drug trafficking and youth had been addicted to these drugs, and you are getting pressure from the higher officials and PMO, that is Prime Minister office, to take immediate steps to control this kind of drug trafficking and to increase livelihood opportunities for the rural youth or in your area. So what kind of measures you will take to control this? Okay, like that you may get case study related to this. Why? Because directly a narcotic control bureau came up with this kind of report means it is not at all a simple issue that we are facing. And obviously UPSC wants to know about this topic and UPSC wants you to think that what kind of steps you will take to control this. So in that context you have to see like what can be done from your side. What kind of measures you will take. Today I will be giving you case study on this case. Okay. So try to write an answer for this case study. See these prelims questions. First one is about UCC. Consider the following statements regarding UCC. First statement is it aims to replace personal laws of all religious communities with one common civil law. Second one is it deals with criminal laws applicable across India. It is mentioned under DPSP. For sure it will be there. It is under DPSP article 44. Eliminate one option. Now you have 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 2, 1, 2 and 3. In all these 3 is common. So you have to check 1 and 2. See here, it is about uniform civil code. That means it will be dealing with civil case or criminal cases. It said criminal. Eliminate this. Okay, like that. See in this way. Try to solve in a very easy method. Don't complicate your strategy of solving prelims. If you understand once the strategy, which statements you have to eliminate, which statement you have to withhold, then you can do this. It will be on your fingertips. Okay. See this next question. With reference to PM Family Care Tracker, consider the following statements. It is a digital platform developed to strengthen beneficiary tracking and service delivery. If you don't know, keep it aside. It integrates information related to eligible families for welfare intervention. Next one is it is implemented by Ministry of Defense. It is related to family. It is saying that defense. Is there any link that it will be implemented by defense? For sure, no. And remember this, guys, whenever UPSC frames a question, in that question, if it says that it is implemented by so and so ministry, 100% it will be wrong only. It is easy to change, right? Instead of Ministry of Home Affairs, I can keep Ministry of Defense. Instead of Ministry of Defense, I can keep Ministry of Finance. Okay. If you remove this third statement, you have 1 and 2. Two options are there, A and B. And now you have to check only second statement. See that it integrates information related to eligible families for welfare interventions. Yes, for welfare of pregnant women and lactating women and as well as children. So it will be right. So answer will be 1 and 2. Okay. That's all, guys. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much for watching, and if you like this class, please do hit the like button and please do share this class to your friends. And if you have not yet been subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe, guys. And thank you so much.